Hi, everybody. My name is Paul Gerard. I'm a student loan consultant with the American Dental Education Association, ADEA. This repayment module is on a wonderful debt management resource called the AAMC ADEA Dental Loan Organizer and Calculator. We're going to refer to this as DLOC for short in this recorded module. This module is going to give you some special tips for using DLOC to help you manage your student loans. Now, there are a number of benefits to DLOC. First of all, though, a reminder that when you borrow, for example, direct unsubsidized and direct plus, be sure that you set up an account with your loan servicer so that you can actually go in and manage your loans on their site. That's where you're going to be entering repayment information and you will be working with your loan servicer. So always be sure you know who your loan servicer is and set up an account with them. Now with DLOC, lots of benefits to using DLOC. You can keep all of your borrowing in one electronic file, and one of the most important things about DLOC is it will help you see the impact of additional borrowing every single time you take out an additional loan. Perhaps most important, DLOC is set up to help you choose a repayment strategy based on your own student loan portfolio, what you've borrowed and what your own repayment objectives are, and what your career plans are, including whether or not you're planning on doing advanced dental education work with the residency program. DLOC is also absolutely free for 7 years. Now, in order to get started with DLOC, simply go to adea.org/DLOC and follow some very simple instructions for new users. You're going to need to create an account with the Association of American Medical Colleges, the AAMC. This is the organization that actually helped us design the AAMC ADEA Dental Loan Organizer and Calculator. So you will actually have to set up an account with them. Once again, this is free. Once you do that, you will see two main sections to DLOC, the Dental Loan Organizer and the Dental Loan Calculator. We're going to look in detail at these two sections. But once again, to get started, simply go to adea.org/DLOC and follow the instructions for new users. Now, once again, DLOC is set up in two separate sections, the Organizer and the Calculator. The Dental Loan Organizer, this is where you keep your borrowing history. You can actually upload your federal borrowing directly from the federal database called the National Student Loan Data System site, nslds.ed.gov, and you can also manually input on the organizer prospective borrowing. This is going to be very important because if you've not done all your borrowing yet, NSLDS will only have your federal loans to date. You want to always go in and put in prospective borrowing. You can also put in loan servicer information in this section in the organizer. The Dental Loan Calculator is where you actually go in and tell DLOC which repayment option you are interested in based on your own portfolio and your own career plans. And you'll find that you can choose a number of options after dental school, directly into practice or doing advanced dental education work, either in a hospital-based residency program or an academic-based residency program. So two sections, the Dental Loan Organizer and Calculator. We're going to look in more detail at those in the next few slides. Now, once you get to the organizer, the first thing you want to do is to upload your federal student loan record. Any federal loans you already have from college, post-bac program, or dental school, upload them directly into the organizer. But then you want to be sure to add any projected borrowing, loans that don't show up yet on NSLDS. You want to be sure that you add those to the organizer so that you'll get a realistic look at what your repayment's going to be when you graduate from dental school. You enter individual loans by academic year. We're going to show you all this on the next slide. You can select the loan type, for example, direct unsubsidized and direct plus. Those are the two loans that are very typical for many dental school graduates who borrow. We'd encourage you in the nickname section, use the same nickname for the same loans. For example, always say Grad Plus if you're talking about Direct Plus loans. You might abbreviate Direct Unsubsidized to simply be Direct Unsub. but use the same nickname for each loan. That way, when you run your summary, they will all be grouped together accordingly. Be sure you enter the loan amount. We're going to encourage you to use 10 years for the repayment term on federal loans. That does not mean you are locked into a 10-year standard repayment term, but that is a standard way you can enter information on DLOC, and you get a choice later on about different repayment options. And consider using relatively high rates to show a worst case scenario when you go in and add projected borrowing. In other words, when you go in and put loans in that you have not taken out yet, don't use really low interest rates, because that would greatly underestimate what you're going to be repaying if in fact the interest rates turn out to be much higher. So be realistic when you go in and enter the interest rate on your student loans for any projected borrowing. Now here's an example of where you actually add loans in the organizer. You will see this section under loan information when you're on the DLOC organizer section. There's academic year, it's a drop-down menu. Same thing for loan type. You will hit that and you'll see different loans such as direct unsubsidized and direct plus. The type of subsidy will automatically be put in on direct unsubsidized and grad plus loans. In other words, it will simply say these are unsubsidized loans. There's the nickname section we talked about. Be sure you use the same nickname for the same type of loans. And then you put in the borrowing amount and the repayment term of 10 years. And then the last entry you will see for interest rate. When you go in and put in manually a loan for a particular academic year, DLOC already knows what the interest rate is for that year, but it doesn't know what the rate is going to be for projected borrowing. And that's where, again, we would suggest you use a slightly higher rate just to be sure you're not underestimating what you're going to be repaying. So that's an example of where you actually add loans in the organizer. Here's an example of adding a direct unsubsidized into the calculator section. This is the exact same screen we were looking at earlier on the previous slide. There's the academic year listed as 2018-19. Direct unsubsidized Stafford. Notice it automatically put in no subsidy. We're going to nickname this direct unsub. You put whatever nickname you want, but that's a common nickname for the direct unsubsidized Stafford. $40,500, you put in the amount that you borrow. We put in 10 years, and we used an interest rate of 6.5%. We're recording this in the fall of 2017, and the current interest rate on direct unsubsidized loans for the 2017-18 year is 6%, so we made the future loan for next year a little bit higher. We referenced that earlier on the previous slide. So once again, there's an example of actually putting in a direct unsubsidized loan into the calculator section of DLOC. Now, once you go in and upload your federal loans from NSLDS and you add in projected borrowing, you can group the loans together by academic year, which you're looking at right here through the Dental Loan Organizer and Calculator. You can also list the loans by loan type, and here we have again direct plus all listed together and direct unsubsidized all listed together. So once again, once all your loans are in the organizer and calculator, you can list them out and print them by academic year and also by loan type.